Draft might be my favorite niche of the Pokemon competitive scene I've ever had the opportunity to compete in. Competitive Pokemon battling is one of the most customizable experiences ever, but all of that is elevated to a separate echelon when draft is evolved. Rules and drafts may vary from draft to draft, to draft league to draft league, but one thing is common: draft the best team and win. But in general, draft is a format where 16 or so coaches each draft a team from a pool of various tiers and with a fixed amount of points. So that means you can't spend all of your points on a Zacian, Zamazenta, and all of the Ubers. But that doesn't mean you can't. In fact, some tiers may even allow you to draft such powerful Pokemon. But for the Meloetta Draft League, this will be an open Terra market with a mostly OU tiering system, with a few exceptions. For example, Chi-Yu is allowed and Baxcalibur is allowed. This is the 6th season of the MDL singles with the rule of that you can use any Terra type you want. So that means you can have Chi-Yu with a Water Terra, a Fairy Terra, any Terra you want, but the stipulation that you have to announce it to your opponent at the end of the at the beginning, of the game. For example, but sometimes even OP Pokemon need their limits, especially in an open Terra format. So sorry, Baxcalibur fans, you cannot Terra. As most drafts go, they have a reverse snake order, meaning the drafting list goes in reverse order after every normal order. 1 to 16, 16 to 5. 1 to 16, 16 to 5. That means both turn 1 and turn 16 coaches basically have 2 picks at once. So my pick was number 15. So I pretty much have 2 picks at the end of the draft. But that also comes with the cost that I can get sniped pretty easily because I have over 30 picks to go before I can choose my 2 picks again. So let's get into the drafts. In any case, if you guys are hyped for this draft league, please make sure to leave a like down below and make sure to subscribe. The rest of the coaches who will be uploading in the MDL are also uploading today and tomorrow. This is week 1. Week 1 will be coming up very, very soon. So please make sure to, again, check out everybody out in the description. We have a tier list video on Mario Fan's channel. So that's a pretty cool thing for his division. And my week 1 will be coming out later today, actually. So once again, if you guys are super hyped for draft, please make sure to leave a like, leave a subscribe, and leave a comment saying whose team is your favorite after you've watched every single other's draft analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Also, apologies for the audio quality. It's a bit quiet, and I promise this won't be a problem in any other situation. Okay, you'll see what I mean. Thank you, and I'll see you in my week 1. All right, let's get into the first pick of my draft, which is Enamorous Incarnate. At this moment in time when I'm thinking, I am 15th pick, right? So I am deciding whether to choose my Terra Captain immediately or maybe go for one of the high tier Pokemon that maybe can't Terra. I was thinking Palafin. That guy got chosen round 1, so not getting that guy. Gouging Fire was on my list. I really wanted to use him. He got taken. Necrozma, I wasn't really looking at that guy, but all in all, I knew I wanted my first pick to be either a Terra Captain or something I can definitely make into a Terra Captain. And I haven't really used an Enamorous Incarnate Terra. I mean, I saw the I saw the Stellar Terra set, and I'm like, yeah, I want this guy on my team. I mean, it's just a strong thing. And we were discussing right before this, it's got a really unfortunate speed tier. It doesn't outspeed any of the 110s, but it's fast enough to outspeed the base 100. So that's your Latioses, that's your Pokemon like that, right? I think it's going to be definitely an interesting Pokemon to run. Whether it will be good remains to be seen. And also, I think it is a Pokemon that does need a lot of support to get it going. Probably going to need a lot of rocks. It
does appreciate the support, but as a Terra Captain, yeah, it just, I think, look, this is one of those Pokemon that I am so excited to see people use. I think anyone that has an Enamorous Incarnate Terra, I I'm gonna be watching all that game because I just want to see this thing put in work.
I'm
Like,
surprised
in draft, it just
nobody
seems so
drafted
cool.
it in because we're in separate divisions. This league was big enough so that we could have two divisions. I'm the only one that drafted it out of the 32 or so people.
Oh my God. Oh my
So,
God.
like, for 21, it can't. For 21 points, the max points in the same tier as Raging Bolt Terra, Ogerpon Wellspring Terra. How bad could it really be, right? It's gonna be an amazing Terra Pokemon, and I just can't wait to use it. Honestly, I cannot wait to use it.
It looks so fun, and just the ability, like, obviously, you look at the stats, you see the 135 special attack, right? But like, it has 115 attack, it has superpower, and it has
Contrary, which is exactly.
like, its typing doesn't hold it back, but it can be kind of scary. Like the moment you run into like a Scizor, for example, you're just gonna get rolled, right?
Like, you can't
Terra,
just, yeah.
To, like, resist bullet
Yeah.
punch, and then just like go for the like Terra Fire, Mystical Fire, whatever.
Or even just Terra Fire, Terra Blast. Like, this is a very versatile Pokemon. It could run
Yeah.
agility, more for defensive side. It can run Calm Mind. Like, for some reason, this Pokemon gets Outrage. I don't know why. It's gonna be like with the
Yeah,
physical
I
Outrage
mean-
set. That could be funny. In any case,
Yeah, I guess it's just a very angry Pokemon, really.
it's got Iron Defense. This is just a really interesting Pokemon. It's got Draining Kiss for that more longevity. Like, if you wanted to
Yeah.
actually sweep. Like,
Yeah, very true.
very strong Pokemon. 135 special attack is nothing to scoff at. In fact, you probably don't even need to run. You might not even need to run special attack investment most of the time. Like, that definitely is an option.
You could easily go for like a bulkier like Fine Defense, Calm Mind, like Double Dance, Draining Kiss,
Definitely,
and
right?
then Terra Blast with coverage set. Like easily, you could easily do that. Just
Yeah.
make sure you go cute charm on the setup.
Hey, could you imagine contrary? Oh, I'm lowering my defense. Does it get like?
And
Does
of
it
course,
have
if your
like?
opponents
Yeah.
don't make their entire team female, then they're throwing. Otherwise, they're gonna get cute charmed.
Yeah, honestly, it's a Pokemon that I'm really excited to use. I was debating. I knew for this draft I definitely wanted to get a high tier Terra. I've never used a high tier Terra, so I was looking at the Raging Bolts.
yep.
I was looking at the Ogerpon Wellspring. Ogerpon Wellspring was actually going to be my first pick if it didn't get taken, and like way before me, way before me.
Yeah, I mean, Ogerpon Wellspring is just another.
It's just a monster. Like, honestly, I'm really excited to use this. How about, what is your first pick again? What was your
My
first pick?
My pick. Now, I can't lie, I forgot to take it off the screen. So the people already know what it is, but it doesn't matter. Dragapult was my round one pick. Now, I was 10th, which is not very good.
It might be one of the
It
worst
really-
ones. Like,
it's
middle is always the worst. Yeah.
Like, obviously, first pick, you get first pick of whatever either crazy Terra captains are allowed, or you go for like something like Dragapult or Valiant or Palafin, like you mentioned
Mhm.
earlier, because there are just some crazy Terra captains. Like people are going to gravitate towards those, right? And this just
Exactly.
allowed like Dragapult to just reach me. It's just like, well, I didn't really know what direction I wanted to take my draft in yet, because I want to see what like goes round 2, round 3, you know. So when the draft gets to me and Dragapult's still on the board, and I've Zackmander in my ear going, and I go, it's kind of a boring round 1 pick, but I haven't actually used Dragapult before, so. I mean, look, everyone and their mother knows what Dragapult does, right? It's just fast. Because it's fast, it can utilize its 120 attack, 100 special attack to just click. It's got 3 amazing abilities: Clear
Mhm.
Body. If you're a physical set and you're against an Intimidate Pokemon, you don't care about that. Infiltrator lets you get around like substitutes and screens, which is nice. Curse Body, you're probably not gonna be.
It's
running
probably the
Curse Body
worst out of the 3, but all
It
of
is
them are
probably the
definitely
worst out of the
viable for
3,
sure.
But I mean, more often than not, I'll probably want to automatically go for Infiltrator. That's going to be my ability of choice first, and then I'll go to Clear Body if the matchup demands it, you know. But I mean, Dragapult does whatever the hell it wants. This is the
It might be the
this
definition of
Pokemon can use
versatility, right?
basically any item, apart from the Everlight, I guess, apart from the Everlight. But like, Boots is valid. You could go for a Sash Leech and Spec, like literally any of the choice items work on it. Like, even like a Leftovers bulkier set, I'm a big fan of like Boots Dragapult as well, just to like bring it in, click U-turn, do whatever you need to. It just does whatever it wants. Like, it can Dragon Dance setup. Like, Dragon Darts is a really funny. Oh, I miss the Gen 8 animation for Dragon Darts. I miss so many Gen 8 animations actually.
Honestly, I feel like they downgraded a lot, but that's not what we're here for.
I mean, look, I totally get why they did it. I totally get it. But, okay, look, if I was by myself, I would start yapping so much about that. But I gotta stay on track.
No, that's all good. I mean, Dragapult is like you said, a lot of people will be gravitating towards like, you know, the Terra. Like, I definitely did that. I definitely knew I wanted a high tier Terra before anywhere else. And with my pick at 15, my choices are kind of, you get it now, you get it next round, or you don't get anything at all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So 15 for me, like at least.
Like, you get to, you just get to make a pick, and then you basically just get another pick.
Exactly. So
it's just gonna be hard for you to get sniped, because you're gonna plan what you want.
Definitely. And when you're 15, when you basically have to wait for 30 people to make their picks, and then you get your pick again, it's kind of rough. Like, anyways, I definitely think that
it's a long time, but like, look, at least you don't have to be on like 24/7 monitoring.
Exactly, right.
Just to make sure, oh, is it my pick yet? Is it my pick yet?
That's fair. Honestly, I feel what you mean. I've been 10th, 11th, and 16-man drafts before. It's not nice, man. Yeah, but surprisingly, I didn't see a lot of people really gravitating towards their first pick being a high tier Terra captain. Even if they are sort of in like the middle area. Obviously, Wellspring is the biggest one, but like a random pick is Thunder's Theory and Terra from the Chicago Bulbs. First round, like, it's definitely very in it.
Yeah,
it's an interesting first pick.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to make any spoiler alerts, but that team didn't place very highly for me.
No. Well. But like you said, I think like Dragapult's an amazing first pick. It is the definition of versatility. It's a Swiss Army knife.
It's
and
just like, if you pick Dragapult round 1, like, it doesn't lock you into any.
Exactly.
You can just make your next few picks whatever the hell you want. Like if you take Palafin round 1, for example, you probably want a raid mode, you know?
Or you probably won't get another bulky water, like, because it's wasted on, or it's not wasted,
like,
but it is used on Palafin.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doubling up on dragon types. Nothing wrong with doubling up on ghosts either. Those are two amazing
Ghosts
types.
are really, obviously. No spin,
and
no
don't forget
nothing.
that this thing. Okay, you're gonna see a bit of a theme with my team. But this Pokemon gets Thunder Wave.
Oh, yes, it does. Like, even you can run dual status Hex, just to be extra annoying.
Yeah,
like, it's
Hex,
amazing. Honestly, it's such a nice Pokemon to pick round on.
Screams as well. It just, like, fast screams is nice.
Definitely,
Like,
definitely.
It just gets all the moves.
That's definitely fair.
Okay.
That's definitely fair.
Okay, doesn't get all the moves. It doesn't get Poltergeist.
I think if it got Poltergeist, it might have been banned. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay, to be fair, if this thing got Poltergeist, it would be pretty insane. It would just be like, oh, you're prepping for Dragapult.
Oh,
okay,
no
there's
item. Okay, let's just know it.
item on my Ghost Fleet Pokemon.
And then you don't even have to bring Dragapult.
And then they're spec Shadowballs, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Or you just don't even bring Dragapult. Okay, now all of your Pokemon have no items. Have fun.
Although I can tell you for a fact, I'm probably gonna be bringing Dragapult in. Every
That's definitely fair. That's that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you might as well. Honestly, it's such a good Pokemon.
It's Dragapult, you know. It can do whatever you want.
Shall we move on to the next pick? My next
Okay,
pick.
go for it. What's your second pick?
All right. So once again, the person like after me is building. He first chose Raging Bolt Terra. Okay, so he's probably not choosing another Dragon type, which is why I decided to gamble on choosing Roaring Moon's second pick instead of first pick. Okay, I've heard rumors about Rungmin. Okay, I've heard he's not him. I've heard he's not him.
Ooh, boring mid. Look,
I've heard he's not exactly right. I've heard he's not him, but
I don't want to. I don't want to be that person, but I am one of those people. Boring mid is real, but you got to think about it this way. You chose Enamorous Incarnate. You have
Exactly.
the Pokemon to like.
that's what I'm saying. Mostly counter, right? That's exactly what I was looking at. Like, aside from like Iron Valiant, who is definitely,
Yeah.
Roaring Moon just does not like that Pokemon. But it's an interesting Pokemon. I have one of the best answers to this Pokemon, and I also did not want anybody else using it because I've had to play against this thing before. It's kind of an annoying thing to prep for. Like, you always have to worry about. Is it going to be Dragon Dance? Is it just going to be fast? Is it going to be Choice Banded and just kill everything on my team?
Yep, exactly.
Is it just going to spam Dragon Dance? Is it going to be even like more
Just the
defensive?
variation in whether
Yeah.
it wants to go like boost to attack or boost to speed, like just prepping for
Yes,
that can be
exactly.
difficult sometimes.
I definitely think like it's got
Like,
okay
like,
special
like,
defense as well.
Oh yeah, no, it's
What was it?
it's got
Ring
good
mid.
balls. It's just quad weak to fairy, which is
Yeah.
exploitable in draft.
Yeah.
Okay, for me personally, any Pokemon that has quad weaknesses in draft league, I'm not a huge fan because in draft it's just so easy to exploit those quad weaknesses, right?
That's definitely
So
fair.
Pokemon
That's definitely fair.
Like Gliscor's a bad example because Gliscor will just eat any hit.
Okay, Gliscor literally
fine.
doesn't die though.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
The point is there. If a Pokemon gets ice coverage, it's gonna run ice coverage for Gliscor, which you could then argue you're then wasting a move slot on an ice move. Valid argument. That is a valid argument. To be fair, in all fairness, fair. But it's still gonna like chunk the Gliscor.
Definitely. No.
Like,
Yeah, that's definitely
like
yeah.
quad weakness Pokemon is just.
But I think Fairy is one of those things that if you're not a Fairy type, you rarely get access to the coverage. And I kind of needed to build my team around having this quad Fairy weakness, as we'll see later on.
Yeah.
But
like, as long as you have answers for Fairy types, because Fairy is one of those types that in draft people are gonna get Fairy type. They just-
exactly, like if you don't have a Fairy type, like what are you doing really? Like
Literally.
you're allowing
If you
yourself to
don't
be
have
Dragon
Fairy
Spam.
type, like just like DTC.
Definitely.
Like,
That's basically it for Roaring Wind. I mean, I know I wanted to use it just because, again, I've never really used it, and like you said, people are gravitating towards the most expensive picks, turn 1, turn 2, and Roaring Wind is still available. Decided to get it. It fits the team. I think it fits very well with the Enamorous. We can pivot out into stuff Roaring Wind doesn't like or something. It's just a really solid pick in my opinion, and I think it fits my team pretty well. And also did not want the Sun team getting it. That was another thing. The Sun team picks before me. The Sun team is not getting it. The Sun team is not getting it.
extremely bad. That is such a based way of like planning your draft. Like,
Yeah.
One of the really fun things about draft for me is like planning on the fly. Like not only if somebody gets like sniped from you, but just like, okay, well, I don't want this team to get this Pokemon, so I'm going to see if I can integrate it well into what my plan currently is.
That's exactly what I thought.
And I think Enamorous Incarnate Roaring Moon turn 2, like you picked up one of the main counters to Roaring Moon.
Exactly.
So I think for your team specifically with Enamorous round 1, I think Roaring Moon is a good fit, and I think this Pokemon, I won't say it's going to carry you, but I think people are going to.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not expecting it.
Undervalue how
Yeah.
much it's gonna, like, do.
I'm not expecting it to be okay. Every week you're gonna Dragon Dance. You're gonna get us the win. Like it's here to like you're gonna have to prep for it. If you don't prep for it, then you are just going to like you have to prep for it. And I'm not looking. He might not be that guy, and I'm not asking him to be that guy. But we're 16 minutes into this, and we're on just 2 Pokemon. I'll let you pick. I'll let you explain your second pick.
Welcome to a recording session with me.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all baby. Okay, my round 2. Also, I'm not gonna lie, very boring. I promise it will start to get interesting. Not that one. Iron Treads. Right, so I go with Iron Treads 1, 2, right? Because you think of Dracula, you think, what Pokemon with Dracula? And your mind's eye, it just goes to Iron Treads, doesn't it? Like, let's be honest.
Iron Treads is
You think
such
of-
a good
you think of
Pokemon.
Dracula, you go Iron Treads, and it's just like, at this point, I'm still like, well, I'm still not sure where I want to go with my team. At this point, okay, some behind the scenes here. At this point, I was really considering going, like, taking my draft in a completely different direction to where it ended up. And I wanted like a crazy like trio of grass types. I wanted like Rillaboom. I wanted a Terra Superior. I wanted Chestnut.
Ooh.
And I was planning around that. And look, spoiler alert, Chestnut. You gotta have. I am Chestnut's biggest fan. That Pokemon gets belly drum and it gets grassy. So yeah, do the math.
Gets Dream Punch
But
as well.
the moment I thought, oh, Heatran's been taken, it's just like, well, I can't do this plan anymore because I needed Heatran. So
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm like, okay. So I don't lock myself into something that might backfire. Because I was very tempted to go like Rillaboom round 2. So I don't lock myself into, because if any of these Pokemon get sniped, I'm cooked, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go with Iron Treads because it's safe. I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to go Iron Treads. I'm going to see what other people want. I'm going to let them get their Terra Captains. And I'm just going to see what's left over. I'm going to build my team around that. And that's basically what I did. I want, like, Treads gives me spin. I mean, everyone and their father knows what Iron Treads does, right? Like, it can run a booster energy, which I think, I wouldn't say people forget about that, but I don't think people respect booster energy Treads enough.
I think it's definitely a Septipon thing. No, because
Yeah, like
It
not
can-
even just believe, but just like
Exactly.
Like booster speed Treads like in the late game, just like clean up. Like if ground just looks like a good offensive type into your opponent, like why not just go booster speed Treads? Yeah.
it usually
honestly,
is a good.
this
It's usually a very good offensive, just spamming
Oh,
thing
yeah.
if you don't have the answers to it. Like if you don't have a flying type, to just switch into something like that. I mean, I assume most drafts do have some sort of answer and have a flying type, but in general, if they don't, it's pretty free, honestly.
Spoiler alert, my draft does not have flying. But it's fine.
No, but I'm looking at your draft, and you basically have something that does the same. Like
Yeah,
it
I
is a
mean,
switch
that
into ground type
That
moves.
is true. That is true. But
In any case, I think for
Earthquake
you,
gets rapid spin.
Yeah.
clear hazards. Just get one of the like best hazard removal options as quick as possible.
again,
Just
it's
get it
another great utility Pokemon you can use,
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
even run it offensive, even if you wanted to. Like
Yeah.
it's got,
Yeah, exactly.
wow,
Exactly.
like
It's it's just another Pokemon that just
it's nothing to
so
scoff
much.
at.
Like it gives me a rocker early on. I did not mean to click Steel Beam, but on a booster speed lead, like just like Suicide lead set.
Definitely
like, rocks,
possible.
you can
No, it's a real
easily run
thing, yeah.
Steel Beam, for sure. Like knockoff is great. I've seen shout out to the Uzi Gun and the Goat. We're running Megahorn. Supercell Slam. Okay, Volt Switch for pivoting. Like Dragapult is U-turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas
You
Volt
get your Volturn core.
Starting a little bit of annoying Volturn core. Exactly. It's just a Pokemon that again it just does everything.
I feel like that's definitely a thing.
okay,
Like
everything that Dragapult doesn't do, like Treads probably does it. That's basically.
it's so valuable having a defensive Pokemon that sets up rocks, sets up. Does it get spikes? I'm not sure. I don't think it gets spikes, but it might get spikes.
Doesn't get spikes.
It doesn't get spikes, but I'm just saying. It can, like, if you bring out your answer. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna Volt Switch. Like, it having Volt Switch is actually
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
so nice for it. It's so nice.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Volt Switch, like, can easily just run like an Assault Vest, just like Earthquake, Heavy Slam, like rapid
For sure.
Volt Switch. Like, could easily just run something like that. Just go like 252, 252. Like, who cares, man?
At that point, right? Like. Alrighty.
It's just another solid, just a solid pick, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
I will let you.
My third pick.
let you answer.
At this point, stuff is getting taken. The steals are being taken.
Oh, yes.
The ground types are being taken. Like Gliscor Donphin
What?
goes right
What?
before
Ground
me.
type's been taken? What?
Ground types are being taken. Sandy Shocks. Like, okay, this is the order. Round 3, okay? Tinglu,
Okay.
Sandy Shocks, Iron Treads, Gliscor, Donphin. They go in order. So I'm thinking
People want spin, people want rocks, people want hazards.
people
want
just
solid
want their
types,
stuff to
right?
through. So I do the exact opposite and I draft a Steel and Fire type. I need an answer to any fairy type, okay? And Heatran is
yeah, I
fitting. Like you got your fire, you got your fairy Dark Steel core right there. Heatran is probably the best answer to any fairy type in the game. I don't think. I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that would just straight up beat it 1v1, like any fairy type. I don't think such a fairy type exists. Let me think, actually. Obviously, we're counting, like, no Terra. Iron Valiant beats it. Never mind. Iron Valiant beats it. But, but, like, again, it's draft. That's the 1% of teams that is going to have Iron Valiant.
Against Iron Valiant, you won the Chocolberry.
Exactly. And I run Scarf Eruption on their speed creeping guy, and then I just kill it. That's another thing. Like, you don't have to run a defensive every single week.
Like,
if they don't have a water type.
You could tell from my reaction that I'm like, oh yeah, Heatran it's a defensive Pokemon. Like I think of it as a defensive like.
You think of it as a defensive.
Bulky rocker,
exactly.
Like Magma Storm, just to trap something. Whatever with the move you need, but absolutely, Choice Scarf Eruption, absolutely.
In fact, at this point, right? I don't know if I at this point I don't have Enamor's Terra yet, so it's still 17 points. Terra Heatran was definitely something I was considering, and I think the other Heatran user in the Pirouette Division actually has it as a Terra captain. I was thinking of it, and I might still pivot to it if stuff goes wrong with Enamorous this season, but definitely still an annoying thing to prep for. You always have to be careful. You have to bring your water type against it. Like there's no duh, like, or you just get put down by.
If you don't bring your water type or like your ground type, then like, what are you doing?
Exactly right. Exactly. That's basically it. If it's access to my rocker as well. It's an amazing rocker. It just eats hits. Magma Storm Taunt might be the best sort of thing for like any Pokemon. It beats Toxapex 1v1. It beats
just like Stealth Rock, Taunt, Magma Storm, just to like
Magma Storm Earth Power. No poison type.
That set is going to be useful into someone like Zachlander for his like
crazy
bulky team.
Oh yeah, that goes. Actually, it doesn't really have because I'm pretty sure this thing can't beat Tingly 1v1, but. That Registeel is not a thing. I don't really need to worry about that. He has Corviknight and Registeel, this fucking greedy guy.
You just gotta like get your chip against that, you know, just hit the Magma Storm.
Exactly, it's 12% every turn.
1/8 chim.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I think it's...
which is like 12.
That would be, yeah. There's nothing else to it, it's just strong steel type, they're being taken. Nothing really else. What's your third pick, my guy?
My third pick.
Yes.
This is where
Yes.
Things are heating up, shall we say.
I think you're the only person that
we pivot from one fire type to the fire type.
To the... It might be the fire type, honestly. I think it is the fire type.
And so, enter. Not just Chi-Yu, not just the fish, but Terra Chi-Yu. So, right. Look, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I have a very, very like solid foundation on my first two picks. My next pick, I just want something to click buttons, you know? I just want to click the funny button. And I see that Chi-Yu is still on the board, and I'm like, this is very difficult to resist.
Like, you just can't, and you have the fastest Pokemon, and you have Iron Treads, like, it's an amazing guy, honestly.
Like, at this point, my plan is, I've basically made a plan for like what I want my whole draft to look like, and I'm like, I can make this work. So just note, Dragapult gets Thunder Wave.
Exactly.
Chi-Yu's biggest weakness
is stuff outspeeding it. Exactly.
Probably the speed.
328 is
100
average, but
100 is 100 like base 100 is good, but like
people are drafting faster things. They are drafting faster stuff in a draft format. Like
like there's going to be things faster, and if not, then they're gonna have Choice Scarf Pokemon.
Exactly,
and
right?
Yeah, Chi-Yu can also go Choice Scarf. That is actually very true. That is very true. Very, very true. But another thing this Pokemon doesn't like are bulky waters. I can hear people being very loud in my Shout out to them.
Is that good?
But yeah, like bulky waters, bulky fairies can be annoying. Okay, if anyone has dash fun,
For the dash fund, you say?
But oh yeah, okay. Chiyu just being able to tower into the coverage to hit like bulky waters and bulky fairies is going to be so useful. And if I don't need the coverage, then you're just going to allow me to click the Choice Specs Terrifier Overheat. Like, what are you doing? You know? Like...
I think one of these things, you just have to prep for it. You have to have an answer to Chiyu. And once again, if you don't bring it, then you've just wasted somebody's prep. If you do bring it...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just
If
another
bring
mon
it,
you
then,
have to
like,
prep for.
even, like, I just have... I have... Like, okay, I have Dragapult and Treads, right?
Exactly.
Those Pokemon are just two very good Pokemon that help with just whittling stuff down and just positioning with the like Volt Turn. Obviously, this thing, okay, technically it has Memento.
If you're using your Chiyu for Memento, that is the most...
Okay, the only time I can see me running Memento is on like a Choice Scarf, like Chiyu set. Like, just like Overheat, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse.
Yeah, maybe if you don't need like the extra move slot, you can... No, but you would run Terra Blast on that. So like, I can't see you using.
It's like if I don't need the like Terra Blast coverage.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can see it being the case. But if I need the Terra Blast coverage, then I'm probably gonna not be Choice Scarf on it. Because like this thing gets Calm Mind and it gets Nasty Plot. Like this thing's special defense stat is 120.
Like it's deceptively bulky. It's deceptively bulky.
This thing's like bulk specially. Like even 80 defense is like it's not terrible. 55 HP is very low. To be fair.
Yeah.
But if it was higher, then this thing would be even more of a monster.
Definitely. I think surprisingly, it's still on the board for... I think you're the only one that drafts this Chiyu, so I'm actually really excited to see you just click buttons into into opposing teams. Like,
look, I am so excited. Look, okay, I can tell you right now, I have already built for my week 1 game. Shout out to Spoopy. So sorry to get paired against me, by the way. I'm so sorry.
Who are you paired up against? Sorry.
But look, Spoopy Bird Buddy, the goat. Just the goat.
All right. Oh. Hey, wow. I don't think I don't think they bring Torkoal. I don't think they bring Torkoal. Anyways,
Look,
that's neither here nor there.
In the chat we're in, I straight up said, Spoopy, I'm gonna give you a tip. Don't bring Sun. Because I am not afraid to admit that I am bringing Chiyu. I'm bringing it. I simply am, because I want, like, if I don't bring this Pokemon to like every single game, like, what am I doing? Like, I just want to click buttons.
Exactly.
I just wanna click buttons.
That's... I mean, you can't really ask much more from a Pokemon. I think the Thunder Wave support from Dragapult, even like the burn support, because your special defense or your defense isn't that high, but even like the burn defense, like the burn, you might live a few more things than not, right? Like, it's really nice. I think it's really nice.
People are gonna want to run physical attackers into Chiyu, and don't forget that Chiyu.
Oh, I like that.
Also gets Will-O-Wisp. So
exactly.
Chiyu can cripple the physical attacker coming in, assuming I land. Obviously, I'm gonna land because I'm not gonna miss a move. Kidding. And then I click Nasty Plot because it suddenly can't actually do much to me, especially if I terror out of any weaknesses. And then I just have a free button click, you know. And that's probably how I'm gonna want to play Chiyu in this league. I'm not just gonna be like Terrifier Specs Overheat as much as I want to. If I can.
You don't have to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like, more often than not, Terror is probably better used as a defensive tool, right? So if I need to go like Terror, I don't know, let's say Flying to get out of a like particular like
ground fighting weakness, yeah.
Then yeah, obviously I will. And if Terror Blast Fire looks good, then I get to do that, which is not fair. Just okay, Chiyu being able to give itself whatever coverage it needs when it's already hitting like a truck is just not right. Okay.
Honestly, I just think Terra makes it that much better. Honestly, I was surprised to see this guy not in the 21s. I think it deserves... I think it definitely has I think it definitely is a contender to be in a 21, just because Beads of Ruin specs Overheat. I think it just kills every Pokemon in this game unless you're like Flash Fire. Like I genuinely think it just kills every Pokemon.
Flash Fire or like Dash Run and like.
Or yeah, if you're immune to it, like unless I don't think there's a Pokemon that could physically tank it, but
Yeah, and spoiler alert, I have one of the better Chi checks as my next place.
right, exactly.
But again, like even though it is quote unquote a Chi check, like I can just I can just terror.
Exactly,
And just get
exactly.
the coverage I need. Like it's just not fair. Anyway, you get the point. I am excited. That's the word to use it. I'm
Exactly.
really excited to use the fish. Okay.
My fourth pick. My fourth pick is, I knew that after drafting a bulky guy who has a very predominant weakness to ground and water, I think it only fits that my next Pokemon can do exactly that. And we're building sort of a fire water core as we're like doing it, so it's definitely good defensive like pivot. I choose Rillaboom for 14 points as my fourth pick, mostly because once again, I do not want any other teams getting this when I have just priority. Again, I said this, right? Strong priority in such a format, I think it's just really good. It's not water. It's not like the Palafin level of strong priority, but I think it's definitely really close.
Yeah.
Banned Rillaboom with the Grassy Glide nerf. It's a little bit unfortunate that it's very.
Okay,
It's slightly weakened.
Grassy
Yeah.
Glide, it needed to be known.
It needed. It did.
Like 70, I think.
I think it went from like 60, 70 to like 55 right now. So
It's definitely 55 now, but like base 70 and Sword and Shield. Look, I played a lot of VGC.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield.
yeah.
Include like AV, Rillaboom, Miracle Seed, Rillaboom on like every team, because why wouldn't you?
It's just so strong, and it fits. Like if you're gonna Earthquake my Heatran, I had the best counter. If you're gonna high horsepower it, my grass. This is like he has a lot of HP. Rillaboom actually has a lot of HP, and you don't even need to run.
It's got very respectable build.
You don't need to run stuff like I don't know. You don't need to run Choice Band every week. You don't need to run, it's just gonna be wood hammering everything. It doesn't need to do that. And one of my favorite
Although
sets.
It is worth noting that Woodhammer from Rillaboom does do a lot.
It does a lot. And it's got like okay speed. Like it's got a lot more speed than you might imagine. It can run
Yeah, like-
acrobatics if you're. Okay, that's kind of a bad set,
Hey,
but it is a set.
hey,
It is a set. It is a set. It is a set. That's what I'm saying. It is a seat. It is a set. It is a set.
And then bulk up and then acrobatics. Like, hey, that's kind of heat. That is kind of heat.
One of the sets I was thinking of running if I don't want to run like, if I don't run an item, it does. I don't want to run an item on Ring Moon. I'm gonna run Grassy Seed with Rillaboom. There it goes. There's my defensive problem fixed. Fixed. This is my defensive problem, and I have acrobatics, and I don't need to like burn something on like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just think it's a very good value pick for my team composition.
It's not just like Sneeze or like Horluch or like the under.
Exactly, right?
That have to use grasses.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Anything can use it, and
Exactly.
just like the extra book is nice. Like Hatterene is one of my favorite like grassy seed users, for example.
Oh yeah. Oh that guy's a monster. And it just opens up the rest of my team. Maybe I want to go for a water type next. I don't have a ground type, so maybe a ground type next. I think
Yeah.
it's just a solid pick, really. There's not much you can ask more from a Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say right now, in my opinion, bulky fairies, bulky steels probably going to be a little annoying for you. You have Heatran, but any steel type that's like reasonably fast, it's going to give you like some.
It's gonna
But
definitely
again,
be
like,
a little bit of a
ground
problem,
coverage,
but
like you have Rillaboom.
and I have I have an Amherst
Rillaboom's so good.
guy who can literally an Amherst like can do stuff. Anyways,
I
that's
mean, look, even like if you like Terastallize your Enamorus to not a flying type, that lets you touch the floor, and suddenly Enamorus can also use Grassy Seed.
exactly if it so wants to.
Like Grassy Seed Carmine is that thing's gonna be really difficult.
It's gonna be hard to kill.
Just like a defensive, like honestly, just like Terra Fairy. Like Terra Fairy is already such a good defensive type. You just drop your flying weakness, and your Moonblasts hit that much harder. That seems
Exactly.
That seems like a fun set. I'm not gonna lie. I hope I didn't spoil the tech there.
No, it's all fine, but maybe if you're running like Grassy Seed, you would not be running Contrary, so the physical set becomes a little bit worse.
Yes. No contrary on that.
It becomes a little bit worse, but
Sure you have the right
it's definitely like if you want to just spam buttons with it and you don't want to like be locked into something, Grassy Seed I think works very well, and you get the passive 6% recovery every turn. For mons like Heatran, for mons like Roaring Moon, who are maybe gonna come in and U-turn right out. I think it's solid.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a solid pick, and it allows my team to be maybe a little bit less like careful on the defensive side because of Grassy Seed, and maybe it doesn't need to run leftovers every week because we got the passive stuff. Maybe if you're feeling scary, you can even run Terrain Extender, but that's that's neither here or there. What's your fourth? What's your next pick? I think next pick is
Terrain
Vayne.
Extender might be a bit of a waste of an item. Bit of a waste. But it has its use. Anyway, my fourth pick. So, I have a Dragon type. I have a Steel type. I want a Fairy type. I literally said it earlier.
Exactly.
If you don't have a Fairy type, what are you doing? My next pick is Primarina. I've never used this Pokemon in draft. And
Seems cool.
I don't know why. It's like made for me, honestly. This Pokemon looks so fun. And it's just a piece I needed. I needed something a bit bulkier. I needed a water type as well. I needed a water fairy. It's basically either going to be this or a Azumarill. Now, if I got a Azumarill, I'd basically be copying like one of Uzi's teams, which I thought was very funny. But I prefer the look of Primarina. I think its main two sets that I'm gonna be like gravitating towards are gonna be like Assault Vest and like a Leftovers Combine set.
Definitely.
One of those two are probably gonna be my defaults. Obviously, if something else looks useful, like this Pokemon gets Haze, which I think is very cool, and I will probably use that. Just get Whirlpool. Hold on a sec.
I don't think it gets Whirlpool. It might not get Whirlpool, but like you don't need to run it.
Okay, wait. I've seen the heat. The Whirlpool Perish song.
Like, I mean, that is just what Azu used to run in like way back whenever that was. But like, you don't need to run it so restrictively defensively. You can run it Specs. This Pokemon is a monster and it does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
It's got Torrent and it's got Liquid Voice.
Very reasonable.
It's got Liquid Voice, so you got that Hyper Voice. You got
Torrent and Liquid Voice. So yeah.
I don't even know what other normal move it gets, but Hyper Voice is definitely the best.
Psychic Noise, which is cool.
Oh yes, that's another thing. I forgot that's how that worked. Psychic Noise, it's stabbed. The opponent can't heal out of it. It's definitely a good Pokemon, and especially for your team comp. I'm looking at this like it fixes a lot of the checkmark. Like you're a bit weak to water. Oh, never mind. I have one of the best water counters in the game, Primarina. Yeah, you're not doing any damage to me, my friend. You're Fairy. You got Iron Treads, and you have Chiyu. Maybe not the fighting. Oh yeah, you got Primarina and Jackpot. I think Primarina fits so perfectly.
Fighting's a pretty big one.
I think Primarina fits
Also,
so
honestly,
nicely.
Dragon, pretty weak to Dragon. I do have a Treads, but Dragon's...
It's
kind of
always nice to
coverage
have
in the
another
world,
Dragon.
so-
Yeah. I think it definitely
it's
is
just
great.
a bulkier piece that my team needed. Like, I just got Chiyu. I got, like, the offensive Pokemon, right? And then Dragapult, not especially bulky. It can be. Like, if you, like, have, like, a Will-O-Wisp set, you can give it pseudo bulk.
For sure.
Treads, again, not mega bulky. Like, this is bulk that I think the team needed. And also, it gets Flip Turn. So, I have another Pokemon with the Pirouette.
That's what I was about to say. Flip Turn for this Pokemon, it is the flip turning Pokemon. Like, it's supposed to take hits. It's gonna flip turn back into Dragapult Chiyu. Like, it's amazing.
I'm not sure if I can call it the flip turning Pokemon.
Okay, there is another Pokemon you do have that might be the flip turning Pokemon. But it is always nice, right? It is always nice. You do your damage. You're gonna dip out.
If I'm winning Assault Vest, I'd probably have...
You have to.
Blast,
Like, come on.
Hyper Voice, Liquid Voice, Surf if not. Probably Psychic Noise, because it's just a...
Psychic Noise is so nice.
And then Flip Turn, because...
Flip Turn, maybe
Why not?
Moonblast.
Pivot's moves are just so nice. Blizzard if I want to be.
Okay, Blizzard is a little bit crazy. It gets energy. It actually might not get energy ball still,
And
but
so this Pokemon gets great coverage.
It's-
and like
yeah.
okay, a leftovers. Okay, this would have been.
it's got draining
This
kiss.
could be a really cool Pokemon for a comp like yours because this is another Pokemon that's going to really abuse the Grassy Seed.
Exactly right.
Because, like, if this thing gets a defense boost,
Mhm,
which is
mhm,
why, honestly,
mhm,
I don't want
mhm.
to spoil too much about my week 1 team, but Reflect is a move.
Reflect is a move. Like it's honestly, I feel like this is just the perfect Pokemon you could add to your team. Like definitely, you wanted a Fairy type for sure with this
Yeah.
setup already.
Yeah.
So
I
like
needed
the
a Water, I needed
Azu.
a Fairy, I needed something slightly bulkier. If I went Azumarill, it would have been much more offensive,
Mhm,
which I
mhm.
think is also fine. Like, I could have taken it down that route, but my personal playstyle, like, I normally go for stuff that's a lot bulkier.
That's fair. No, that's definitely fair. I think that makes sense. I mean, it is. It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
This is just
It's a great pick.
This is more of a comfort pick. Even though I've never technically actually used Primarina before, what
Mhm,
it
mhm.
offers is comfortable.
It's definitely a
that's how I use
Pokemon that
Primarina as
you
well.
definitely want to use before. I've personally never used it. I pivoted off of getting another Fairy type because I don't really want. Honestly, Fairy's a little bit
Yeah,
annoying to
yeah.
have 2 of. It's not like, because you know, any Steel type pretty much shuts down a lot of them. But
Yeah,
it works for your team. It
Another
works
reason
very
why
well for your team.
Multi-Berry is so nice, because
Exactly.
I'm not just gonna get decimated by steals.
Not immediately, anyways, because
Well, you know. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But you have Iron Chest, right? So how much damage could a Steel Pokemon do? All right, should we get into my 5th pick?
All right, let's hear. Pick
Okay,
five.
pick number 5, Clodsire. Clodsire. I've used this guy before. I think it's just again something else that just pairs pretty nicely with the Rillaboom because you can also run Black Sludge, leftovers, whatever, to also get your HP back. That's pretty much like 12% of your health back every single turn if you like run a protecting move. And that terrain extender might be pretty useful. But all I'm saying is it's a nice Pokemon if you don't want to run Heatran Rocks every week. If you don't want to run,
Yeah.
it gets
absolutely.
spikes.
Clodsire
It's
gets
got
literally all
toxic.
the hazards
It gets
apart from
every
those,
single toxic. Yeah, it literally
which
gets
is
every
just
single
so
time.
nice.
It's my fighting resist as well. It's not got the greatest of special defense, regular defense. Sorry, but it's
Yeah,
definitely not terrible.
I would describe it as serviceable.
It's definitely like again, if you're gonna hit it with Earthquake, which like a lot of Pokemon do get high horsepower, but you're gonna hit it with Earthquake.
Yeah.
Hey, they're gonna miss.
high horsepower
They're gonna
can
miss.
miss.
Exactly, right? What can I say? They're gonna miss, and I have Rillaboom. I think it's one of those Pokemon that pairs amazingly well with grassy terrain. It just appreciates all the help it can
Yeah.
get. It's
It's going to be really annoying to take down. It doesn't force you into running like leftovers. I think
exactly,
Clodsire
exactly.
is a Pokemon that just utterly loves having heavy duty
Mhm,
boots.
mhm, mhm,
So it
mhm.
doesn't just get worn down by hazard. It just loves them. And then most of the time you're going to want something like you're going to want recovery. You're going to want recovery, right?
Right.
You probably won't have Earthquake as per usual because of grassy terrain, but high horsepower is a perfectly reasonable replacement.
Mm-hmm.
It like just for like reasonable stat. If ground doesn't look great, it gets gong shot, which is gonna actually hit pretty hard.
It hits pretty hard.
Yeah, from there you just
Poisons as well.
Yeah. I mean, this thing can like toxic. It can like substitute. It can toxic spikes. Like you said, all the hazards minus webs. Like it can even like resto chesto and be even more annoying, or just like a rest.
One of the
kill
sets
with,
I
like-
actually saw is just Sash Counter. It just gets a kill. It's unexpected. And for 11 points, right? You
That's
can't really.
huge. Wait, that's huge.
Exactly. I saw. I
So
forgot
if
who
I'm
it
playing
was,
against-
but
if I'm playing against Clodsire, I'm not expecting.
it's definitely not an original
Me
idea.
personally.
I definitely like. You don't expect it to run counter. It's draft tech, anyways. But I think for 11 points, you really can't ask for much more.
Yeah.
It's-
for 11
it's a
points,
great
like,
budget
okay,
pick.
I wouldn't describe it as like a value pick.
I think no. I mean, I think for what it does, I think it's definitely it's definitely good in its
It
tier.
is really, really good. I'd say my biggest problem with Clodsire, as per usual, is that it is very passive.
Yeah, that's.
And I think
I was about to say.
I
Yeah.
won't describe it as easy to punish that, but it's if you're playing against someone that knows how to punish like passivity, they're going to.
If they have a lot of like sort of more bulkier stuff, if they have like I'm just looking at this team, this fucking Garchomp Tornadus team. This team is very scary, but
Yes. Well, and that team you bring aggressive terrain so they can't EQ you.
that's what I'm saying.
Unaware.
Like unaware just seems, jeez. But
Unaware.
yeah. I like it's just one of those Pokemon is that if you don't have the answers for it, it will never die. And I assume you will be bringing like I don't know, you will be bringing your ground type against it. You will be bringing your stuff against it, but I think for the composition I'm trying to have right now, it allows also for I don't have to really worry about poison anymore because I have a steel type and I have this guy.
Which is always nice.
And it's got Toxic Spike, could be annoying in itself. I really wanted Golden Go with this team. I really did. But I had to choose Heatran instead because it did. Like, could you imagine Golden Go with all the hazard stacking?
Oh, I see. I get you.
Yeah.
I see what kind of person you are.
No, I mean, that is, one of my favorite playstyles is to just set up webs and, 5 offensive Pokemon. That is just one of my favorite things, and...
Either web team in one of the leagues I was in. And, look, I won the regular season 7-1. I went 7-1.
Yeah, but it did get chosen pretty quick. But, in any case...
Yeah, I don't think any of the web's Pokemon really got chosen in our tier.
I think in our tier as well, only... I mean, for your tier, somebody chose Cutie-Fly turn 2, so I suppose there's your,
Yeah,
I suppose there's your...
that was, okay, it looks like that was turn 2, and it's very funny that people are going to look at that and go, why did you go Cutie-Fly?
Was it turn 2? I
That was
guess...
a transaction.
Oh, okay. Galvantula. I think the only Pokemon that actually was chosen that has any sort of real webs support is surprisingly it's the other Chi-Yu team with an Ogerpon Wellspring. It's and it also got Urshifu rapid. It's single strike. I thought it was rapid,
Yeah.
but webs is super nice.
You want speed control. And
Exactly.
I will talk about speed
Yeah. I mean, that is just my pick. I think Clodsire, I've used it
Clodsire,
before,
yeah.
so I think it
It's
just...
one of those really reliable.
Exactly.
If you're scared of a certain Pokemon, you can bring Clodsire and check it. That's what Clodsire
Exactly.
is.
And it's going to Toxic Stall you, and it's just going to be annoying.
It's gonna sit there and look pretty.
Exactly. Alrighty. Your next pick is pretty
my
interesting.
People are not gonna like this. People are not. Oh, what have I just typed in? Oh, I've just typed in Deoxys Defense. Ew.
What? Deoxys?
I need a shower. Ew. But okay, here's the thing. I need more ball. I needed ball, right? Deoxys does that. What did I also need? I also needed I don't want to have to run Stealth Rock and Iron Treads every week. This gets Stealth Rock. I also need a Spike Pokemon. This gets Spikes. That's what this was for me. Also, Teleport is an amazing move, just to get you in for literally free.
Yeah.
Also, this is I can type. This is Pokemon number 2 with access to Thunder Wave.
Scott
And I'll tell you right now,
screams.
it is not 2 of 2.
Yeah.
This Pokemon is just gonna be a nightmare. It's just gonna be annoying. People are gonna need to bring a Pokemon to kill Deoxys Defense, lest it does whatever the hell it wants. Psychic Noise is an amazing move on this Pokemon. Obviously, the hazard. If you don't have a Dark type, maybe I run an utterly repugnant Cosmic Power.
The Cosmic Power. No, you just need to be Cosmic Power Nightshade, man. That's the worst one. That is just the worst set. He's got Iron Defense as well, so maybe you do run that shit.
Yeah, people.
If you don't bring something immediately for this.
I'm gonna be such a cretin with this Pokemon. Knockoff is amazing as well.
Exactly. If you don't bring
Just
something
just
immediately for
just
this,
getting rid of boots, getting rid of, okay, here's a big one. Getting rid of assault vests so that Chi-Yu can more easily click. There you go.
that is another thing. If you don't have anything for this, you will lose. Like, point
yes.
blank. You just will lose. I feel like it is
So
one of those
I can-
Pokemon that does just force you to run. You have to run an itch. Like, one of the things, I think this is a common theme in this draft, is that if you don't run stuff that will punish certain things, for example, for some teams, alright, you don't need to do this, but for, like, you have to run something for Chi-Yu, you have to run something for Deoxys defense.
Yes. If you do not run Pokemon specifically to counter these Pokemon, you're gonna lose.
Exactly, right?
It's as simple as that.
You are just going to lose.
Because, you know, assuming I don't utterly misplay the first 3 turns of the game, which is typically, if I lose the game, that is how I lose it. But if I can get out of those first 3 turns, then I do usually win. I mean, Mirror Coat is an amazing move as well. Like, it gets counter and Mirror Coat. Like, if people want to, like, punish this, then go for, like, a teleport, and just, like, click Shadow Ball, and I click Mirror Coat, and kill something that could have been useful for them. That's not going to be great. They're probably not going to be too happy about that. I will want to see if I can make Gravity work at some point.
Gravity Inferno. You're good. Inferno.
Gravity
You just be fine.
Ooh, I like
No, but like, what is it? Like, it makes it what, like, same accuracy as Hydro Pump, or it's close to it. But I think Deoxys is really nice, but it does fall victim to stuff. Like, if you get taunted, and even if you have a mirror
if
mental
this
herb,
gets taunted, it's cooked.
it's
But
kind of
like,
cooked, but
mental herb will definitely help.
yeah.
Like, but you know, if I get taunted, then it is what it is. I'll click Nightshade or I'll click Knock
Exactly,
Off
right.
and still get something out of the turn. Or
I think, yeah.
can run, it's also very like possible to go Nasty Plot because I have the bulk to get a Nasty Plot up, and then I can click Meteor Beam and I can start doing damage. And I hope people don't respect that.
Like, I think if you Nasty Plot, like, it's gonna be hard to kill this thing in one. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Deoxys defense be OHKO'd.
Nasty Plot with even like Nasty Plot Meteor Beam with Power Herb, like, yes, Power Herb's a 2-turn move, but like if you just like play passively against Deoxys, I'm just gonna click Nasty Plot or I'm gonna click Meteor Beam and I'm gonna get the special attack boost, and I'm probably gonna run Pain Split to be even more of a turd, and then I'm gonna run Coverage Move. So
I mean, it's got all the
I'm just gonna start boosting. Like, okay, if I just quickly put Modest max special attack, like it hits 262 at Modest max. Like, it's respect.
That's nothing to like. Yeah, that's nothing to be like. Nothing to scoff
And,
about.
like, yeah, like if I just go like Modest max special attack, max HP, it's gonna be annoying to kill.
Yeah. No, for sure. Psychic Noise, Psycho Boost is just gonna hit super hard.
Psychic Noise is an amazing.
I think
move.
Stored
can run
Power
Psycho
is good
Boost
as well.
with Eject Pack. Can't be sleeping on Eject Pack.
Ooh, yeah. No, that's true. I forgot about Eject Pack. Like the well, it doesn't get overheat, but I know it. Like the Psycho Boost is interesting. I like Psycho Boost on this Pokemon a lot.
It is interesting. Like for my team, like I think free pivoting from Eject Pack. Is very
Exactly.
useful. Like, Eject Pack Chi-Yu even. I mean,
Oh, 2 Chi-Yu is
Draco,
nice as well
like
because
Draco Meteor from Dragapult for the Eject Pack into Chi-Yu, like, you know.
like what?
there's
Oh,
some
for
stuff
Chi-Yu, you're gonna run your fighting types. You're gonna run your ground types. I think Deoxys just shrugs off all of that.
Deoxys is gonna eat those hits for breakfast.
Exactly.
Because it is Deoxys defense after all. What else
Yep.
is it gonna do?
Like exactly. Like it's not going to run like physical. It's got all the moves.
Bulky, click Thunder Wave and click Teleport most of the time.
It's got all the moves that normal attack Deoxys. All the Deoxys just share all the moves it gets. So if you think all the spikes, all the stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, if there's just like a Pokemon quad weak to like Ice Beam, for example.
Yeah,
like, I don't have very much special attack, but Ice Beam will probably 2-hit KO. Or I can EV at 2 2-hit KO.
Definitely
Because
solid.
this thing already has such good bulk. It's just so easy to run whatever. Like you can easily run like speed because it's not as if like it's not as if this is like slow king, where chilly reception actually depends on what your speed is. Like teleport has negative priority, so you can still run speed
Exactly.
just to like get like the fast thunder wave and then click teleport. This thing's it's just gonna be really annoying.
Just really annoying, man.
That's why I want the options to be just annoying. In a word, there you go. Annoying.
I think that definitely fits the bill with your team already. I think pivot
Yeah.
is just so strong with Chiyu. It's just like,
exactly.
yeah. Dragon
At
Ball
this
even.
point, I was basically looking like I always wanted this pick to be Asdsadsa. I was looking at Pokemon like Lamora, Mew, Tinglu. Obviously, none of those won the board still. But
Definitely.
I have Dragapult, which is an amazing spin blocker, so why not get something to get spikes up? And stuff.
All right.
Well,
My
it's another
6th pick for me, I knew that at this point my team is kind of just pivot in and then it's just going to sit there. But I kind of also wanted something that could maybe run a random trick to cripple maybe like, I don't like my default answer is always Toxapex because I hate that Pokemon. But maybe like even a Tinglu for Enamorous, something just to cripple the defensive Pokemon by forcing them to go into only one move only. It could be annoying with status, and this is why I chose Rotom Wash. Actually, I was pretty surprised it was still up because I saw a lot of teams that could use all for one a bulky water. But like at this point, everybody's getting their bulky waters at this point around in the draft. Like Swampert goes next, Blastoise just went before me, and Empoleon. So I decided this pick was pretty. At first, I didn't want Clodsire, and I had maybe Swampert on the cards. So, bulky water is always an interesting one for me personally. If I don't get like a Palafin turn 1, so I don't really know what I want to do. But I chose Clodsire, and then hey, I'm gonna get Rotom Wash. They fit pretty nicely against each other, honestly. Like Rotom Wash is going to not like grass moves. Clodsire, Rillaboom can sort of. Heatran can also just eat those up. It's going to pivot on you. It's just going to be annoying it. And if you're going to run like setup, here's my trick choice specs. Here's my trick choice scarf. Have fun dragon dancing for eternity. Like
this Pokemon's just really it's in a word consistent. It's just
it's so nice. Exactly.
Just does whatever you need it to do, and it will do it every time.
That's exactly what I thought.
Like this thing's only weakness is to grass. Outside of like Mold Breaker Extra doesn't I guess.
Exactly right.
Like, so it forces grass moves, and you have some of the best
grass counters
ever.
Right? Exactly.
Like literally all four.
They don't like they will eat the grass up moves for breakfast, and it also doesn't.
Gonna eat grass moves, Rillaboom's gonna eat them.
Right.
Gonna eat them, and Nanos is gonna eat them. Like.
I think it's sort of similar to your pick, where you just want a pivot that can be a utility guy, but it's not so passive that it's just going to sit there and take damage. It can still Volt Switch, it still can Hydro Pump. It's just, I think it's just one of those picks that it's the defensive portion of the draft now, where we're getting sort of low in points,
we're at the point
halfway.
Where we want stuff to like help support
exactly,
our like top 3, top 4 picks.
Or definitely just to help our offensive Pokemon get in and do what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, look, this thing is strong.
And its defenses,
like,
even though it has...
If you're timid, this thing hits like 309 special attack. Like, slap on a choice.
Exactly.
Just
exactly.
Like, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Volt Switch,
Trick.
It's going to be annoying.
It's got Will-O-Wisp, it's got Pain Split, it's got Thunder Wave.
Yeah.
Like, it is just a very solid...
Like
definitely so. Definitely just a really nice utility pick for me. It doesn't really do much aside from that, though, but it is a lot of things it can do. Again, at this point, my draft is almost done, and it's
like 106 speed.
Exactly.
Is going to help Enamus out a lot.
Definitely, no, definitely, because I don't. Spoiler alert, I don't end up drafting a Webs guy, which it's not like I need it for Enamorous, but it's definitely.
You don't.
Exactly right.
Enamus doesn't need Web.
Yeah. It's definitely a solid pick for me. Anyways, it's gonna just help my team. I feel like it can't. I feel like if you're gonna get Rotom, it really can't hurt the team unless you have like 10 waters already. It can't hurt it.
Exactly. And like honestly, I have had like 3 types on a draft before.
I think
like,
water
it's
is
been
pretty
perfectly
okay to
fine.
double up on.
'Cause water
Sure,
is
well,
one
even.
of the most spammable types.
Exactly.
Just because water's such a good type. Like it's so hard to go wrong with water types.
That's really
It's
true.
like, yeah, like there's not really another type that's quite as spammable as water. I don't think. Like,
you can't really go too wrong with steel, I would have to say, or like 2 or 3 grounds,
yeah, but
maybe
like,
not be
but,
terrible.
Like if you're getting like a couple steals, they tend to be slow.
They are
It's
very
really
steel
easy
types
to
are
just bring,
very
like,
slow. That's facts.
like something that has like fighting stab, and then suddenly
Exactly.
your steel types are like hooked. Whereas water types, there's just so much variety in the water type. Right.
I mean, it is the
so
most
easy to get,
common
like,
type.
2
It's
or 3
outrageous.
completely
Exactly.
different water types.
They fit with every single typing, if I'm not mistaken. We have.
I don't think the water type will drag a single typing down.
Exactly. I don't think.
Just giving,
Yeah.
Like giving a water type to like a bug type, it's just like.
It's Araquanid is one of the best Pokemon
right?
in
But then you
OU
start
right
thinking
now.
of like
right?
a Bacronid, you think of like Golisopod.
Glycebot is kind of garbage, but because
Don't.
okay, but like if you go below 50 health, you're out of there. So
Golisopod
maybe.
cut VGC Wolves in 2022. That's my goat. That's my goat right there. That's my goat. That's my goat.
In any case, I think if you're gonna double up on any type, I think water is probably your. If you want any type to double up on, it's gonna be water, right? It's
Yeah,
so
spoiler alert,
solid.
I have 2 water types.
Exactly,
In this league,
exactly.
I have 2 water types.
It's so solid.
It's just like it just doesn't hurt. It just won't hurt. to have, like, a couple waters.
Right. All right. Your next pick, I actually really
for the
like.
record,
I like
love-
your next pick.
I love Rotomosh on your team. I think it looks so natural.
Like honestly, this could be an OU
Yeah.
team. This genuinely could just be an
Yeah,
OU team.
literally.
Your next pick though, I might like it a bit more than Rotom, because
Ooh.
I've used this guy and I like it. I like it a lot.
I've not used this Pokemon yet, and I've got to say I am really looking forward to it. Like, okay, I'm really looking forward to using Chi-Yu, obviously.
Oh.
But this is like a close second. I'll be honest. So my what we on 6th pick
6th, yep.
is one of the Reggies. Ooh, which one is it? Which one am I going? Is Regieleki? Hooray! So obviously, as I said earlier, bulky waters for Chi-Yu can be kind of annoying. So at this point in the draft, I need something to help me against bulky waters. Enter Regieleki. Yeah. So Transistor is an ability that gives this thing 1.3 times. It used to be 1.5, but
It's such a shame they
nerfed
nerfed it.
Regidrago. So shout out to Game Freak for not killing Regidrago along with it. Unlike Samuel, but they gave it body for some place. But anyway, this thing, if I needed to just click buttons, for example, if they don't have a ground type, firstly, what? Did you have a ground type? Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Yeah.
choice specs. I'll probably want like Thunderbolt, but also gets both screens.
I will
lock
say-
to special. It gets the same attack, special attack, so I can easily run Super Cell Slam if I want to.
I will say my
Thunder, if it gets rid of it,
my experience with Regieleki, because if you're gonna run a draft, you're gonna run a ground type. That's just no duh. And if you see
Oh, yes.
Regieleki, they're gonna bring it.
Yes.
It's probably the premier screen setter, premier volt switcher, and it's got Thunder Cage, which is it's just
Thunder Cage,
Magma
but
Storm. It's gonna trap
I
their stuff.
want to
Yeah.
run Thunder Cage.
Yeah.
But if I'm Thunder Caging something, it's probably something slow that's like pivoting out. So I'm not sure if I'll get the Thunder Cage off. But if I can, I really want it to work. And
But
I know
like,
as soon as I
yeah,
click it, I'm
yeah.
gonna miss.
No, but like on maybe like a steel type, expecting your maybe like your normal
Yeah,
coverage
like,
it
okay.
gets. Like,
okay. Here's a hypothetical, if you will. So I Thunder Cage a special attacker that wants to switch into
Yep.
Jackie, right?
Yep.
Maybe it's like
Metagross, I was
I don't know,
thinking.
like a special grass type, like
Special
Hydrapple,
grass.
for
Hydrapple.
instance.
Yes.
That's gonna resist the electric type
Yes.
moves, right?
Yes.
I Thunder Cage and trap it, and then I start clicking Eerie Impulse.
I thought you were about to say, I just click Explosion. Have fun with your grass type being gone.
No.
The-
So I start clicking
Yeah,
alien
no.
to allow me to start spamming ancient power.
Wow. Hey, that's pretty bold of you to assume it just won't kill you before that.
Oh, people are not gonna like me.
Ancient Power is one of those funny moves that
People,
if you...
people didn't already like me in this league, they are not going to appreciate the things I do to them with this Pokemon. I am really looking forward to using that game. And like you said, it's also like a premier like screen setter.
Exactly.
And I have one of the other ones in Dragon Ball, so
It's faster than most Pokemon even with scarves. So
literally. Okay, if
I think
just
just
quickly
makes it
go
better.
timid.
That's like
I think
146
it's,
or something.
It hits 548.
548, Jesus. Like, that is... I'm pretty sure that's faster than... It's not faster than Valiant Booster, but like that, it's close. That's the speed tiers we're talking about. Like, it's insane.
I'm just gonna get Enamus into here.
Oh, and Emrys
I'm
is
gonna give it
fucking
max
slow.
speed.
It's not outspeeding it. It might be close, but it's not exact.
No, but like with a scarf.
Yeah.
Okay, we multiply by 1.5, so half of 342 is 171. So then we add that, so it's 500.
It's not enough. It's like 36 or something.
13. So scarf
Oh,
and Namus
yeah.
can't outspeed it like.
No, that's what I'm saying. It rivals the speed tier of Booster Energy / Scarf Iron Valiant. Like,
Yeah,
that's the speed
like,
tier we're talking
and
about
Enamus
that you
is-
need
is
outspeed.
not a slow Pokemon. Enamus is 106.
Exactly.
Like-
Exactly. I'm pretty sure you're faster than the 105s with Scarf, 110, sorry, with Scarf as well. Math 350.
Ooh, let's see. Let's take Latios.
Yeah, 525. You are just faster than it. Like, it is so nice. I love that Pokemon, man. I
Yep.
love that Pokemon.
Yeah, look, I am really looking forward to using a lefty. It's just, I just want to click buttons. This is a draft where I've just decided to get Pokemon that can click buttons.
It's not. I mean, it could definitely do that. And if you don't, you're gonna run Modest, and you have 100 base special attack, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
gonna
I
hit.
mean,
If you don't have a ground type,
Dragapult
even like
is a
neutral.
Pokemon that can happily win like Adamant or Modest. Regieleki, I think that Pokemon can win Adamant or Modest.
Definitely.
And yeah, it's just gonna click electric type moves to help with Boogie Waters. That was the number one thing I wanted, and it's Thunder Wave Pokemon number 3.
You need to be 365 speed to outspeed it with the Scarf, or speed tight. Sorry, with the Scarf. Like
Okay, so 366 then.
366. What gets
Okay,
366 speed? It's slightly slower. It's just barely slower than Valiant. I'm pretty sure. Because what? It gets
Barely slow.
361 ish. You need to be Iron Valiant
so let's
speed.
take-
You need to be Iron Valiant speed. So it's base 116. Because then you get 164, and you need to be slightly above that. So that's base 116. What outspeeds
Yeah,
116?
okay, cool. That's actually very good to know.
Your answers are Salazzle. There you go, man. There you go. Salazzle can outspeed you if it runs Scarf.
Oh no! I'm
Not the
gonna
Salazzle.
Oh no!
Obviously you're not gonna outspeed like the double Scar, like the Unburdens. Halucha's at 118, but you're never outspeeding really
yeah,
that thing anyways. That's just obviously.
Horlucha's gonna
I have
outspeed, but against
Inteleon.
that,
I don't know why
have Red Card
Inteleon's
Deoxys
best.
defense to force it out.
Oh,
to
yeah,
Get it some burn and boost, and then Regieleki will outspeed it. So that's my plan.
Yeah. If you're not running Scarf, I mean it is the fastest Pokemon in the game, right? So that has to have
And
something.
it's not even that close.
It's not close. It's really not. Deoxys is 180 and you're 200. That's 20. Yeah. The next one of that is 30 points differential. In any case, it is very scary to prep against because, well, I mean it's not that scary, but you have to kind of consider what you're going to be speed crept
Yeah.
against, and then you can
Like,
kind of
if you
just
have a
kind of
ground type, it's not necessarily scary.
yeah
You
yeah
just have to bring the ground type.
yeah.
And that's what I like Regieleki doing. Because I have Primarina that is happy to go against grounds. And I have a couple later picks as well that we will talk about soon that
Yeah.
will also have to go against grounds.
I
mean,
think
even
even I was about to say if it's a
happy to go
slow,
against grounds.
there are a lot of slower like grounds. I mean not base 100 speed grounds. Obviously like the Gliscors, the Landorus's, like
If
the
we just
Pokemon like that.
type in ground on Showdown to see what we get. Okay.
Like
Okay,
your
show me good Pokemon, please. I don't care about these Gen 1 grounds. Show me some actually good ones.
Crocodiles, your like it is outspeeding a lot of the.
Okay, yeah, the Swampert at 60, Flygon's 100.
Flygon is.
Yeah, ground.
Yeah, Flygon's probably about.
Torterra's a lot slower.
Not even
Howlon,
close.
Hyperion, Gliscor. There's so many good grounds in Gen 4. Shout out to the Gen 4 ground types. My goes. Garchomp. Garchomp could be pretty actually, I would say. But against that, Air Balloon Terra Fairy, that's the tech.
Or just like Terra Grass, and you just blow them away. Like it is.
Or Terra Grass.
Yeah, that's
Or
what
Terra Ice.
Terra Ice is pretty nice as well. Yeah,
Terra
we'll
Ice
see.
is nice.
We'll see. All right, Regieleki is an amazing pick though, nonetheless. I love that Pokemon.
Regieleki, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using it for sure. But we are yapping.
We are. It is about an hour already, and yeah, we're over halfway. All right,
This is gonna be
should I go into my
but I am
seventh?
more than fine
pick?
with that. So, pick number 7. Shoot.
All right. This Pokemon isn't originally on my team. I do end up making a lot of I don't know what I want at this point. But I do know that I do want a psychic type that's preferably, maybe it's not the most bulky. My ghost weakness is my ghost resist is Roaring Moon. Can always use a normal type in draft.
Very decent Ghost Resist.
It's
but
definitely decent, but like if you want something to switch into like Poltergeist, you want a more reliable pick, and is what I'm trying to say. And that's why I decided to choose Meloetta as my ninth pick. Sorry, it's 9 points. It's 9 points, but it is my
this
seventh pick.
video is of course for the
Meloetta Draft League.
So you're picking their mascot Pokemon. So
It better do well.
I
That's all
mean,
I'm saying.
If that's not a good omen. I
And if
know
it doesn't sleep everybody with the Relic Song, I am trading him away.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Ooh.
No, and the fact they could also switch into a fighting type, which I don't have, and it could run physical and it could run special. I think that
Yeah.
for my team, I just like using versatile Pokemon.
And it gets so much faster as well.
Right, exactly. Like it's kind of slept upon. I might have even wanted this guy to be my
It is,
Terra
it
Captain.
is.
If I maybe went like, even if I went Heatran, that wouldn't. No. If I go Heatran, maybe I can make this guy Terra Captain. But in any case,
Pretty cool.
it's definitely an interesting Pokemon. I've seen a
it's-
lot
yeah,
of also
very,
hate
very
against it because, well, I mean it's a Meloetta. How good could it really be? It's my, yeah, right. It's for 9 points, but like it's for 9 points. You're gonna expect it to. Okay,
For
you're
9
not.
Points, like,
It's definitely
the people
solid.
can see the stats.
Exactly.
It's 100 HP, 77 attack, and okay, just in its like regular like.
Yeah.
The Aria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I should really know that. Like immediately, if we're being honest. 77 attack. Who cares? 77 defense.
128
Really
attack,
massive. But then 128 special attack, 128 special defense.
and it gives me the 90 speed
Really
tier, which
bulky
is
on the
what I
special
also
side.
wanted.
Like, for example, you give this thing an assault vest, and like it's not dying.
But like that's what I'm saying. You don't need to run it. You can run it. This thing gets close combat. It gets Drain Punch. It doesn't get like
Yeah.
Sword Stance, which is pretty sad. Oh no, it does get SD. It does get SD. It does get SD. I thought it did. It gets Triple Axle. Like it's definitely like a budget. Like if you need a budget attacker,
It's really good moves.
exactly. It's got Thunder Wave. It's got Trigger Room. It's got Trick.
Ooh, it gets Metronome, so you can get the.
Metronome could be funny on like if we're like locked in or something. It gets Reversal. Like this Pokemon has really interesting
I have
Pokemon.
just seen that. A substitute Phallic Berry Relic Sun reversal set could be heat. Because you have the if you like switch into the other.
Wait, you know what it also gets?
You suddenly have the speed tier to like get the substitute up and just get the strong.
Yeah,
reversal.
it's so honestly, it's definitely
And if you're
not
to say
the
sing,
best.
then I'm gonna be upset.
No. I saw it gets Serene Grace, but it doesn't really have that many good moves to really abuse it. The only move I'm looking here is Zen Headbutt, which is like it turns it to 40%, which is still a lot.
Then
It's
Headbutt.
still a
Nice,
lot.
respect.
But
I mean, the main one for Serene Grace is Relic Song.
yeah,
Like,
it would be
that's-
for Relic Song.
that's
It
the
would be.
main move
Yeah,
to
right,
abuse.
right,
So,
right.
Like Relic Song is a weak move, but like 20% chance to just like sleep. And the way that Sleep Clause works, I think it's worth noting, is that
I'm pretty
if you,
sure if it
quote
hits.
unquote, accidentally
Yeah.
put something else to sleep with Relic Song, like that's
Yeah.
not breaking Sleep Clause. Like you can put multiple things to sleep with Relic Song. I think the people need to play that, shall we say? And look, I really hope to see a game at some point where you just like literally sleep like an entire team with this, like just like sing for guaranteed sleep, assuming you land, but you'll land, don't even worry.
Exactly. And
then Relic Song to accidentally, quoting the girl, to accidentally put stuff to sleep. You know?
Oh, and if you hit me, I'm gonna sub him until I get my reversal. You're dead. You're dead.
Exactly. Look, I really want to see.
I might need it. You know what? One of these days, I might need it.
So cool.
It might need to come up. It actually, both forms do get Serene Grace, which does mean Zen Headbutt maybe isn't too bad, because 120 with the 128 gets split across the speed and attack now.
It doesn't get stab anymore, but it's fine.
Like who needs stab when they can't hit you, right? Come on. It's got Perish Song. I'm gonna Perish Song until you flinch.
Play rough as well.
Play rough.
The 10% chance for them to attack drop, which honestly most of the time feels 50-50 anyway. So with Serene Grace, you're basically guaranteed.
Thunder has a 60% chance to paralyze. That's funny as hell.
Oh, you're evil, I see.
Gravity Thunder. I mean, yeah, it does suck.
Ooh,
like if this thing got body slam, it would have been so much better, but it doesn't, which is pretty sad. But it is what it is. I think this is like a pretty good budget pick. It's 9 points, so it's not going to be doing much. But
this does a lot for 9.
Exactly, right?
I think it's generally a very slept on Pokemon.
I think it is as well. And judging by what is already in this tier, it's definitely one of the most solid picks. Like another one I was looking at was Pheasantipity, but again, Fairy type, Poison type, whatever. So I did want something close to that with U-turn. Again, just helps. U-turn gets my guys in.
Great move.
If it's running AV, you might as well, right? You take the hit, get out.
Exactly. Or even like Specs is gonna hit hard.
Specs, exactly. I don't think you can run Choice Man because it doesn't get, unless you're raising in, unless you're locking into that. But
okay, the only way I can see Choice Band working is on like tricks.
It would be the trick set, yeah.
But like, there'd be no point to it because you're not in.
Exactly.
Automatically.
It's got screens, like it's got
It's
Stone Edge for some
kinda
reason. I can't see this thing doing any damage with
mean,
Stone Edge.
Look,
But
it means you can hit Moltres and Talonflame.
that's what I'm saying. Like you can hit your flyings. There you go. That's my 7th pick. I think it's very nice. Now your 7th pick.
This is an amazing budget pick.
For your 7th, it might be even a better budget pick. I was pretty surprised this thing to be this low.
I will say, I'm also very surprised it's made it to me. I will say that my one transaction did include this Pokemon. So I have this Pokemon for week 1, and then I did swap it out.
Oh, okay.
I will talk about that after.
Yeah. Go for it.
So my original pick, like while drafting, was my second water type, the Goat, the Flip Turner, Alimamola. Now, Primarina is a Spadef water type. Alimamola is a defensive, basically defensive water type. But both of them get Flip Turn. Alligator also gets Baton Pass. If I'm feeling that way inclined, if for example there's a Clodsire and I want to inspect the water absorb.
There you go.
But yeah, this thing is gonna have Scold like every time. It's gonna have Flip Turn every time. And then from there, it's either gonna be like Wish, Protect, or if I want to run Assault Vest, it will be like Miracoat plus final move, maybe like Play Rough, maybe Icy Wind, maybe Alluring Voice or Blizzard.
I think the surprise like Mirror Coat is definitely a set on the AV.
Yeah.
Because
Mirror
you're going to be
Coat is
trying
one of
to...
my favorite moves.
That honestly, on Alomomola, it works so well because you expect to just kill it, but then you like with your Thunderbolts, and then it just kills you.
And, like, it only takes like 40
Exactly.
because it has a base HP stat of 165. Like Pokemon just drops.
Exactly. Exactly.
And what I do love Alomomola for this team. I really do.
I think with Primarina,
The transaction I
yeah.
make makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately,
We'll see. We'll see.
And in my opinion, it does make the draft better.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But Aloe, everyone knows what Aloe does.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
have like heavy duty boots or like Rocky Helmet or like
Leftovers
or, like,
sometimes.
leftovers,
AV.
Citrus Berry, Resist Berry, like Rakan or Window makes sense.
Electric berries. Yeah, that one's what time. Yeah. Yeah. Like, definitely. Definitely interesting. Yeah, I did bring a Lomomola
It's
into
just-
a rain team when I used it, and I brought the Electrosis berry against their Arkelodon, and it died. So I'm just saying.
Wait. Against a rain team, you gotta run the hydration rest.
Exactly. Yeah, have fun.
Hydration rest mirror coat.
But yeah, Alomomola is a good pick, but
That sounds
with your
Evil.
with your team comp, it does make sense that
Yeah. It's
maybe
just
you don't need another one.
like bulky Pokemon
Mhm,
to flip them
mhm.
out to my strong hitters.
Exactly.
Which makes a lot of sense. But again, the transaction, I think it improves the team. As much as I do love Aloe, and as much as I think 8 points is, look,
Pretty
I
is
have
solid,
been
like.
more than happy to pay 10 points for Aloe. In fact, I am currently in a league where I have Aloe for 10 points. It costs 6 points in another league I'm in. I saw that and I'm like, why on earth is this Pokemon 6 points? Like,
That's kind of disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is good.
Aloe's so good. I love Aloe. Aloe is it's similar to Rotom Wash in that it's just so incredibly consistent.
Yeah. It's so you expect it. It's gonna live, and it's gonna, it's gonna bring out your Chi-Yu. It's gonna bring out your Dragapult, and it's gonna just be annoying.
Exactly.
You can't kill it in one
Like,
because it's got AV.
Everyone and their
Like-
grandfather knows what Alomomola is going to do. But it doesn't matter because it's so good at doing that. Who cares if they already know?
No, I think that's very valid. But if you already
I
have,
Regieleki, so I have one of the better Alomomola accounts.
if you already have Primarina, though, it does make sense that, maybe you don't need both of them. Maybe you don't need both of them.
Like, maybe I don't need both of them, but I think, look, I am, spoiler alert, the transaction I make is another water type. So,
Oh, there you go.
I will still have 2 waters, but again, it will make sense. Trust me. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Everyone
I mean, yeah, there's not much to say about Aloe. I'll move into my second Terra Captain.
yes.
And if you look at my team,
I think we're on.
yeah, that would make sense. This guy is interesting. I don't know. Well, okay. It was either this Pokemon or Avalugg. Because they're both about the same points. They do both do about the same thing. But I did like the Cryogonal speed tier. It is fast. It's gonna... It does have Defog. And it does have Rapid Spin. So I don't know why you want Defog. But
I know some people that utterly love Cryogonal.
people will defend Cryogonal to the grave. When I've seen it used,
Oh, yes.
it's been okay. I mean, I just needed something that was an ice type first and foremost, and that could just be into. I also did want a. I also did want a double, like a cheaper Terra Captain that could also function as a more defensive guy.
Yeah. This is.
We'll see if
like cheap Terra Captain.
that's what I'm saying. It is a great budget Terra. It's probably the best in its tier for 3 points. Like Glaceon is for.
Yeah, but like 3 points for this is pretty crazy.
Like,
honestly.
Avalugg is
we
for.
just quickly pull up this thing's stats. Like the stats are very, very like reasonable. Like it's paper thin defensively, but look at the speed stat. 135 is monstrous. This thing is so difficult to kill on the special side. 105 is like a really good speed tier for Pokemon that cost 3 points. Like 95 special attack is like not the highest, but ice. Like this thing gets like Ice Beam and Freeze Dry,
Yeah.
and like
It's got.
those moves are just so spammable.
And it's open terror, so I can tear into whatever weakness I do have on the physical side.
Yeah, exactly. You can
And-
do, like Terra Fire or Terra Ground.
Terra Ghost for the fightings, like it's very solid.
Terra Ghost even.
And for Rapid
Terra
Spin
Ghost
as
even
well.
just, like, Spin
Exactly.
Lock is nice.
It's got levitate, so maybe electric could be good because you can't kill it. Like it is very solid. This is a very solid Pokemon. I think I was pretty surprised.
You can run like Terra Electric or like Terra Poison to not worry about Toxic.
Right,
and then you click Acid Armor, and suddenly you can't be killed.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. This is true. All right. I mean, again, it's
like you can just
people know what it is. Cryogonal is got freeze drive flash cannon as its moves. It's got Ice Beam. It's just gonna be there.
Great Rapid Spinner. You can run Snowscape or Roller Veil if you really want to.
Something like that could be, well, maybe not, but it is an idea. It's an idea.
Okay,
it is an idea.
I will retract that previous statement because it actually just gets both screens naturally.
Well there you go.
That's actually yeah. I mean, again, like freeze dry, both screens plus rapid spin is gonna be a great set on this.
Yeah, definitely solid. I mean, people know what it's supposed to do, right? If you watch Draft and you've seen Cryogonal, you know what it's gonna do. All right, your next Pokemon. I also really like this Pokemon. I have this drafted in another league. It's nice. It is nice. I'll let you explain it.
This is technically the second time using this Pokemon, and it is Rotom Mo. But the other time I used it was in that VGT league, which was Regulation D, by the way. I actually really good team. I had a Urshifu, Rapid, Murkrow, Rotom Mo, Raichu. It was actually kind of cool.
Okay.
But anyway, Rotom Mo. This thing's really cool. For starters, this is Pokemon 4 of 4 that get Thunderwave. Because I have had Thunderwave used against me, and I feel like every single time it gets picked against me, I will instantly get powered on a very important turn, and then I will be sad.
Yep.
So I want to be the person that clicks Thunderwave, and I'm just taking Pokemon away from other people that can click Thunderwave into me.
Yep.
So
yep.
It's obviously its typing isn't as crazy as like Rotom Wash, but
you don't have a grass type in it. I think it helps.
Yeah, it just helps me with like bulky waters, also bulky grounds.
Yeah. That was
Leaf Storm is a very strong move. Obviously we talked about Rotom Wash a bit, so we know what moves this thing gets. Like it can happily cripple the like defensive pieces with Trick. It can weaken stuff with Will-O-Wisp to allow for easier setup. Yeah. Like it gets both screens, which is nice. Like Leaf Storm, Thunderbolt, just very reliable stab. Nasty Plot is also cool. Pain Split's an amazing move. Like we've talked about this, so I don't really need to go into too much detail about it. I just think when I was thinking about what I wanted to add to my team, I'm like, I probably want stuff to help me with bulky waters, bulky grounds, and like bulky flyings could also be kind of annoying. So I got two electrics. And this one's electric grass, and also it's levitating, because I have a little bit of a ground weakness going on. So this thing being off the ground with levitate
definitely helps.
Is just
amazing
really nice as well. Yeah, it's really great roll compression. That's how I describe Rotom Mo. It just gives me a lot of stuff I needed in one great Pokemon. That's basically what it does.
I would like to add that Rotom Mo is arguably a bit more consistent than, because what you need it to do, right? Rotom Wash is there as if you don't have defensive Pokemon, it is going to be your defensive Pokemon every week. But Rotom Mo, I feel like because of its typing, it can fit a lot more. Like you don't have to invest in like a heavy, bulky water immediately, and you can get with Rotom Mo, with Rotom Wash, but with Rotom Mo, electric grass, and you're immune to ground. For the most part, is really nice. It's really nice. I think Rotom Mo is a great pick. I love that guy, honestly.
I think Rotom Mo, it's like, I wouldn't describe it as like slept on, but I think out of the Rotom appliances, like people don't.
I think it is. No, I think it is. I think Rotom Fan gets more appreciation because it's so cheap most of the time. I think it actually is pretty. I think it is pretty slept upon. I think it might be the most slept upon Rotom, just because. Some people might not expect it what it can do. Like it's going to Volt Switch on you. It's going to, and you can't even bring your ground type on it because it's grass type.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I think that's.
Yeah, I wanted another electric type to help with flyings and waters, but I also wanted a grass to help me with any waters that happen to also be ground, so like stuff like Gastrodon and
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Swampert could have been quite annoying otherwise. Like AB Swampert is pretty good into my team right now. So Rotom really helps with that, for example. Yeah, it just looked really useful.
Rotama is
And
just pretty
and again,
nice.
It's another fun dweller.
You get your fire, water, grass core going. They all have
Yeah,
pivots
exactly.
into
I
Chiyu.
have Fairy Steel Dragon. I have Grass
Yeah.
Water. Either one, fire.
I like your last pick though. Your last pick is nice, but I'll say my
Okay.
PC.
Well, we've got to talk about your pick number 9 first.
Yeah. So at this point, my last pick was, or I think previously, this is where the transactions come in. Because at this point, Meloetta actually got sniped before me, so I had to choose like I'm pretty sure right before it got sniped, and then I had to quickly say, okay, screw it, I don't have physical. I chose like I think it was Heracross, but then right after during the grace period, because after every draft is finished, you get a grace period. You get a grace period, and they sent out Meloetta. So I decided, okay, I really want this Pokemon. I think it works well for my team. It fits in. But now I have a surplus of points, because I think the Pokemon I got was... I think I can actually check right now. But the stuff I had was pretty expensive, and I wanted two, like, sort of budget picks that, okay, if... Maybe I don't want to run one thing every week. Like, it's kind of obvious at that point. But we're going to run... Hey... Let's run Orthworm Sableye. Instead, these two Pokemon, I think, Steel, like I said again, it's not a terrible thing to double up on. Because my Steel weakness is Heat Train. And especially when you're not weak to ground with Orthworm.
Yes.
Because you're actually just immune to it. I think it's definitely solid. Like, maybe you could even bring Heat Train, Clodsire, or Orthworm in one team. Because Orthworm just fits so nicely with Clodsire.
It's going to be very, very annoying to kill that to like glue them all together. And I think, okay, what I will critically say is that you're going to need to play your Rillaboom pretty well.
Yeah,
if you let that thing go down like early on, it's going to become a lot more difficult for your defensive pieces to do what they need to do.
Right.
So
I'm not really happy with these lower 3-4.
I'm sure you knew that.
Yeah. These lower 3-4 Pokemon. This is kind of like in the moment. At this point, I really didn't have a plan. I'll be honest. I did not have a plan. I'm just looking, hey, Sableye's cool. Prankster is always annoying. Like, sometimes...
Look, Prankster Will-O-Wisp is going to be annoying.
Exactly. Like, it is just annoying. You know what these Pokemon are going to do. Orthworm is probably going to Iron Defense on your face.
Yep.
Body Press. It is just... I'm making my plays a little bit obvious here. Like, should be pretty easy to prep for, but... At this point, like I'm saying, okay, these Pokemon look cool to use. I've never used Sableye. I've never used Orthworm. Like, I've never used Cryogonal Terra.
Like sometimes you just gotta pick what you want.
Exactly, right?
Like,
actually, if I knew this...
Fun, but also using Pokemon that are fun is gonna be fun.
Exactly. And I think this just opens up, like, my Dark type. Now I don't have to run Roaring Moon every single week. My Steel type, I don't have to run Heat Train every single week.
Because I can tell you for a fact that there's a good-looking Psyspam team in your division.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have really good answers now. Like, even if it's kind of gross. It is actually kind of gross. But we'll get into that in the tier list video because unfortunately this video is 1 hour and 40 minutes already, and we've just finished. So. It's up to you for your final pick. No, it's all good. It's up to you for your final pick, and I quite like this pick. I
will talk about my final pick, and then I'll quickly talk about the transaction.
Yeah.
Pick. So, everyone watches Kyle A, right? Everyone wants Kyle A. Kyle A's the go. What was apart from Trapinch?
Trapinch is funny.
Ignoring Trapinch for a second, what was the other coolest Pokemon that you got?
You tell me.
Yes, it was Terraditto. Terraditto is my pick. This Pokemon, look, I just want to build a team with this. Like, you know, like I was. Okay, I really. Okay, when I realized I really wanted to get Terraditto in the league, was the game where he had the like red card Ditto into the Necrozma.
The Necrozma. That's exactly the
That-
one I thought of.
That was inspiring,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was awesome, and I was like, oh my god, that is so creative.
It's
Like,
just-
how
it's-
did you even come up with that? And it was like it just blew my mind.
Okay, not to
Like,
mention
that set was
the rest of his team
awesome.
is gross, bro. The rest of the team is Spinos, Trapinch, Giratina as his last few picks. Like, it's actually disgusting.
Like when people think of Kale's team in that league, like they're gonna think of Trapinch and they're gonna think of Ditto. Like there was a Chien-Pao, there's a Giratina, but like who cares about those? Like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
know
yeah,
what Pokemon
yeah.
were the cool ones on his
Yeah.
team, right? And so yeah, Terra Ditto I think is just gonna be really cool. Like obviously, it might be like if Choice Scarf Ditto looks good, I'm not gonna like run. Like I'm not gonna force myself to find like a heat set every week. But like, if something really heat looks good, then you bet I'm gonna bring it. You bet I'm gonna bring it. Obviously, this thing is like Choice Scarf Impost. It's gonna steal boosts, and it's gonna like reverse sweep you, especially with Terra. Like, don't sleep on like if there's a Pokemon outside of your Terra and Amos. To be clear,
Yeah.
that's gonna want to click Terra Stella. Terra Ditto is gonna be that Pokemon.
I can't really think of much Pokemon like willing to choose Terra Stellar.
Yeah,
Like I'm just trying to think. Like, would it be?
Obviously, like you've got the contrary Pokemon.
Yeah, obviously
and then
contrary
maybe Pokemon
Pokemon
like
will like it.
Urshifu that want damage boosts.
Urshifu Dark, yeah,
Chien-Pao's
Urshifu,
not
Chien-Pao.
a Pokemon that can tell, but if it could, I'm sure that thing would be happy to go Terra Stella.
Honestly, I'm pretty surprised Chien-Pao isn't in this draft when we have Terra big guys.
There's
Anyways.
a lot of crazy Terra
Yeah.
captains.
But this is more of a
I
dedicated
could have seen
universe.
Chien-Pao would be allowed, but then that opens the gate.
Yeah, no.
for other pretty crazy
This
Pokemon.
makes it. This
So
is.
I can get like why they don't necessarily.
Yeah,
want
this
to.
is this. I mean, the BBL is more of like an Uber's draft. It's like
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
I mean, they've got Pokemon like Mewtwo and that kind of
And
stuff.
Megair-
I am
Megair
in
Net,
an
like,
Uber League, by
it's
the way.
great.
I have a Zacian Terra Raging Volt Palafin core.
Wow.
I am. I play my week 1 game for that on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. Is what I'm gonna say. And actually, to pivot into my last bit, when I made a transaction. So
Transaction. Yep.
Okay, Ditto is going to be awesome, but no, everyone else. Like, I don't say anything. It's going to be very matchup dependent.
Yep.
So my transaction, my one single transaction I made, I didn't even make it in Grace. I made it, I don't know, last weekend I think. So this will apply for week 2. So I'll have it for most of the league, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I get rid of Alamomola. I get rid of Alamomola looked great, but they cost the same amount. So I thought, well, I'm gonna get a Arachnid, aren't I?
Ooh, Arachnid is nice.
So what's the one thing my team was missing? It's webs, right?
Yeah, honestly.
And I have 4 Thunderwave Pokemon to help control speed, but if I have like one of the best like spin blockers in the game,
Yeah.
I might as well like utilize that. So why the hell not get Arachnid? Sticky Web, just in case you don't know, as you can see here, if Sticky Web's up, you use it on, it goes onto the opponent's side like Stealth Rock or like Spikes, for example. If any Pokemon's like that's grounded switches in, they're gonna get -1 to speed immediately, which immediately off rip, that is so beneficial for Chi.
Yep.
Right? 'Cause
Yep.
as I said when I was talking about Chi, this thing's biggest weakness is the 100 speed, like base speed, and it's just that's pretty exploitable, which is why I looked at 4 Thunderwave Pokemon that aren't
Yep.
that don't even
Yep,
like
yep.
require Prankster, so I can even like Thunderwave like the Dark types, for example. But then like any like grounds or electrics, I don't know why I put a T there. Electrics that are Thunderwave immune, obviously they are probably going to be touching the ground, so they're probably Sticky Web weak. And obviously, Arachnid Water Ball gets double power to water type moves. So ground types, this is another thing that, because obviously Aloe's a lot more defensive, whereas Arachnid can hit so hard with its liquidations.
Very hard.
So insanely
Not
hard.
even that, because I think just something like Surf is just so much better because it's not got terrible like attack stats, but it's just
Yeah, I mean,
something like
okay,
but with
it's
Water
base-
Bubble, it's
base
going to
70
hurt
attack.
something.
Base 50 special attack, like basically you look at the attack stat. If I go like adamant max attack, it hits 262 naturally, which is like pretty high. But then you think about what Water Bubble does, and it just flat out doubles the damage of water type moves. Right? So you basically what you do is you look at this like base attack stat and you double it. So instead of 262, it's actually 524.
Yeah.
Which is very strong.
Yeah.
And then if instead we go modest, because you know, what if they have like Lander's Thing, for example? Then there you go, 218 and 436 is still a very, very high like attacking stat.
Yep.
And honestly, this thing's speed itself is only 42, so why not go quiet? And you can go mixed. You know? And maybe outside of something like Hatterene, this is one of the premier Custatberry users to just get like a priority.
But yeah, like I said,
in
it's
just
so
like
hard to
surprise
kill.
kills, surprise webs.
It's so
Yeah,
hard to
exactly,
kill this
like,
thing in one shot unless like
if we
again
look
you
at
do
this thing's
run the
stats outside of the attacking stats, like 68 HP is like it's there, but then 92
Yeah.
defense and 132 special defense. Like this Pokemon is so tanky that it's probably going to be brought into Custat range. It's just likely because you're just not going to kill this thing in one hit.
Definitely.
And I feel like it's worth noting that with Water Bubble you can't be burned either, which I think people might forget, honestly, because
It's such a random thing, like,
honestly,
but
I
it does,
am also
yeah.
one of those people that could quite easily forget.
Yeah, like in the heat of the moment, you might just forget what. Because
Yeah,
obviously,
like,
you know,
heat of
Water
the
Bubble
moment,
will
like-
double water moves, but
yeah, like
you just
everyone
might
knows
forget.
that Water Bubble
Yeah.
doubles like moves, but they might not know that you can't burn Arachnid, and they might not know that fire type damage is
Yeah,
actually hard.
yeah.
So this is technically a fire resist, which is cool. Because I do have a Treads, which is weak, and I do have a Rotom Mo, which won't love like fire types.
Yeah, won't love it, but
And like outside of that, my fire resists are Dragapult. And Primarina is an excellent like fire resist, but Dragapult, it's not the most defensive Pokemon. And if you're taking like Fire Stab, you can't like Will-O-Wisp them if they're like physical. And then Chi-Yu is also a fire resist, but that thing's probably gonna Terror.
yeah, bro.
But yeah, I think Arachnid just giving me like webs is just so good for my team because now people prepping for my team, like it's not just like 4 Thunderwave users, which they can go, okay, I'll bring a Ground type to be immune. Like now they have to worry about that Ground type being Liquidation by Arachnid and then setting Sticky Web up.
Yep.
As they get damage, bring me into Custat range, and then I get webs up for free. So yeah, I think Arachnid makes a lot of sense. I am sad to get rid of Alomomola for sure, because I do also really like Alomomola for this team. But I think Alomomola, like, I wanted another way to actually really hit grounds. You know, like
That makes sense. Exactly. No, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah, like not just like tickle them, not just like flip turn on them, pivot out to something else. Like I wanted something else to actually threaten them immediately. Like Alomomola would have been a comfort pick, for example, whereas this is something the team needed. And this is probably the most defensive team I've drafted personally. I mean, it's probably not like 5th draft.
It's. Let's see. I mean, to be fair, you don't have many kind of defensive Pokemon. They're just like
Yeah, like it's like Deoxys defense and like Rotom Mo question mark and like
Primarina,
question mark, but,
probably.
like, outside of Deoxys defense, all my quote unquote defensive Pokemon can easily hit hard.
That's what I'm saying. And I was looking, a lot of your defensive Pokemon are pivots. I think they all are, in fact, because
Yeah, exactly.
I think pivoting is just trying to position for your Chi-Yu, for your Dragapult, just to be in. It's safe to say those guys are coming every single week, but maybe your defensive
Yeah,
Pokemon
like
are not. Yeah.
Probably not much of a reason to not bring like Dragapult, Chi-Yu, like literally every week.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would I not bring an Amorous? Why would I not bring Roaring Moon every single week? Because it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're not gonna bring your like 2021 point.
Exactly. Then why did you
like,
draft it?
Why
Like,
you
come
even
on.
draft it? You know?
What I'm saying. Okay. Well, this is an interesting. I did find the transaction, by the way. Instead of Meloetta, and I think instead of Meloetta, Sableye, and Orthworm, I had Heracross and Farigiraf. I think I would have liked Heracross maybe, but
Heracross would have been cool.
it could have been cool. But honestly, I wanted Meloetta, and I just said, hey, maybe I want some more. Like,
Yeah,
I want to spread out my
you
10
had
points.
your heart set on Meloetta, and I get that.
Yeah, because I mean, I saw it for 9 points, and I just said, yeah, that's hell. Why not? Why not? It's the best thing in the tier for its price. It could do so much stuff. And yeah, I mean,
No, that makes sense.
I think we actually have very similar teams where we want to sort of build around, like, rather than having like our entire draft be like very strong, we build around a couple of strong Pokemon that we want to bring in every single game, and we want to sort of
It's
like support.
We get exactly. We get a couple like clearly we're gonna bring these every week, and then we get Pokemon that will just like help them be brought.
Exactly.
That's
Like for some teams right now, I could see maybe this, for example, Zachamander's team. He's probably not bringing Gouging Fire every week.
Semi-stall team.
It's just Corviknight and Tingley. Those guys are so nice with each other. I was looking at it at the beginning of this draft, and he's got Vaporeon, Registeel. It's gross.
How we might look at like some changes in the future if it turns out to be kind of difficult to use, because he likes to play a lot more offensively. Like
Yeah.
Team
It's
is,
very slow. It's a very
kind of the style that I would typically draft, although I'd probably have not quite that many biggie pieces. Like I'd probably have like one or two more like hard hitters, you know?
right.
Like he was saying that like if me and him like swapped drafts, like that would probably make a lot more sense. Like if we look at like what we've like drafted in the past.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's honestly, I can't wait to use Enamorous. I can't wait to use Meloetta. I can't wait to use Roaring Moon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting to see everybody's.
Of these drafts.
It's gonna be interesting to see how some of these teams work. As we'll say in the tier list video, I have a lot of questions about some of these Pokemon that have been drafted, some of these teams. But I think we're gonna end it there for the draft analysis portion, and make sure.
We're gonna record this tier list straight after, so.
Don't go anywhere because that video is coming out soon as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Please go check out my partner here. Mario Fan,
Thank you
plug,
for having
do
me.
your
You
thing,
can, of course,
boss.
Go onto my channel as well. #MarioFan2127.
Yeah. What's your YouTube, bro? I think your YouTube's a little bit different, right? What's your?
Okay. My YouTube. If you type in MarioFan2127, you will get me.
Oh,
Or
there
I
you
also
go.
have Sextina_Aquafina_2127. Now, if you don't know, Sextina Aquafina it's a BoJack character. It's not me being like freaky or something. It's a BoJack character.
Well, anyways, this is a long video. Maybe not expecting it, but we felt very passionate about these teams going into the first week.
I love longer videos.
I mean, maybe not 1 hour and 50. Yeah. But in any case, if you guys are hyped for this MDL season, our week 1s are coming out next week, so do be prepared for that.
Every Thursday.
Every
or Friday,
Thursday.
if we're a little bit late.
Thursday, Friday, you can expect a video.
Yes.
Okay, I would love to do a watch along for my channel, but for one reason or another, we cannot. So if you're asking about that,
Yes, I would also love to do that.
it is what it is, and I don't really have anything else for the draft analysis portion. Otherwise, I might make some changes here and there, but of course you guys will know that as I make it.
Yeah. Look, by the way, if you want to make any changes or discuss them, feel free to like reach out.
I'm down.
I would say drafting is probably, it generally tends to be where I shine in the drafting process.
I think it's the
Because
funnest
just
part of
as a
draft.
whole.
Like, why even draft if you're not having fun picking about the Pokemon?
Literally,
Like, it's definitely the best part of a draft.
I just love like coming up with a foundation and trying to build around them. I just love it. It's just so fun. I love drafting.
All right. Once again, please go check out my partner in crime for today's
Yes.
very long video.
Anyway, so make sure
Exactly.
you check out Mystical Beacon. I think I found your YouTube earlier. I think.
Yeah, it's just my Discord.
Mystical Beacon?
Yeah, it's just that with an underscore. I'll leave
exactly.
I'll leave your link.
I will,
Links and all that.
I will obviously link you in the description.
We
as
have
well,
a
and
tier
I'll
list
probably
video
link
to
the titles
record.
as well.
Exactly. We have a tier list video to record, and I can't actually wait. So, we'll see you guys next time. Please be sure to subscribe to all of the other coaches as well. They will be in the description.
Yes.
They are amazing content creators, and they are and some of them will be already going up. Actually, no, that's a lie. They will be going up at the same time. Sorry, but
Yeah.
they are some interesting battles. Interesting battles already.
Draft analysis came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Some today. You know, a little bit late. Nothing wrong with that.
So once again,
Unless your Zack attack was going to upload his draft like 2 weeks ago.
please do check out everybody else in the MDL, and we'll see you next time for the tier list. Thank you so much for watching this long video. If you're still here, somehow.
If you're still here, make sure you click subscribe and like.
Exactly, man. Like, evidently you like us if you're staying this long, right? All right.
It's been a fun video. Hopefully that I mean, okay, I've had fun recording it. So hopefully
I've had
that
fun as well.
shows through in the video.
Exactly. I love draft, and if you guys want to see more draft content in the future, we are in other drafts. So if you want me to post that, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's got an interesting team, but we'll see. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to watch the tier list video that will be coming out very soon. Along with this, we got some interesting takes. All right.
Yes.
We'll see you in the tier list
I'm
video.
gonna glaze myself so hard.